Traute Parrie is a 30-year-long ranger with the Forest Service, and she's worked in Wyoming, Colorado, Montana, and Washington State, meaning large pieces of our beautiful western United States. I got to know her as we discovered that she and her team have been very responsible for a fairly unique partnership called the Greater Yellowstone Ecosystem Partnership. And I want her to tell us about it because a lot of times when we're trying to manage in our public lands, you leave out the private sector and they don't become your friend, they become an obstacle. In this case, it sounds like there was a very positive initiative to bring all the major stakeholders together. So I want to introduce Traute Parrie.
Thank you. Wow, I'm really enjoying being here. It's been great to have the discussions that I've had so far, and I look forward to having more with you. And I particularly want to thank the Alpine Club and the Mountaineering Center for hosting us here, and Roger and Ellen. We'll see if I redeem your faith in having me here. Sustainable summits. I mean, what a perfect title. I have such a passion for both of these topics. On the sustainability side, because it's my responsibility to manage, along with a lot of other people, to manage this ground for the greatest good, but also for what I've seen in my limited travels compared to all of yours, and also just because of the way I was raised. But of course, this is a group of mountain enthusiasts, so I promise to emphasize the summits as well as the sustainability, and maybe in the process encourage some of you to come work with me. I'm here to describe a federal and private alignment in promoting sustainable operations that I believe is a good model, easily replicated, holds participants accountable, and that's kind of important, but at a scale of their choosing, promotes sustainable leadership, but also is very rewarding and is expanding. Promoting the partnership opportunities between government and business to leverage resources and accomplish common goals with respect to sustainability. So who are we? When I keep referring to GYA, as I will, that's the Greater Yellowstone Area, and I'll be describing both federal and private regional affiliations. My home is the Beartooth Ranger District of the Custer National Forest. I'm based out of Red Lodge, and Red Lodge is a community much like Golden, smaller. We don't have a university, but we do have a brewery. But it's about the landscape and being outdoors. It is part of the Greater Yellowstone Area. So this is, let's see if this little thingy works. So of course this is Yellowstone Park, and the Tetons down here. The Beartooth Ranger District is up here, and Red Lodge is right about there. It is the home of mountaineers, as some folks here will attest to. So I've got a little bit of history. This is Ralph Saunders as Fred Anabnet in a portrayal in 2010. So Fred Anabnet is the namesake of Mount Anabnet near East Rosebud Lake on the Beartooth District. He was honored for his success in inspiring others with his love and enthusiasm for these mountains, whose silent depths and glorious heights, unquote, he explored for many years. This was at that rededication in 2010. And actually, Ralph is a solid mountaineer in his own right, and a map maker of some pretty useful Beartooth maps. This is a photo of the first ascent of Granite Peak, which is the highest point in Montana. It is also the dividing line between the Beartooth District and the neighboring Yellowstone District. The first ascent was first attempted in 1889, with subsequent attempts in 1898, 1910, 1922, before it was summited in 1923, which was later, as you realize, than the summit of Denali, and all those first ascents were attempted over a span of 34 years, so apparently it's challenging. And this first ascent was, I got to point out, by 3 Forest Service employees. This is a photo of Billings climber Chad Chadwick, who pioneered many routes on rock and ice in the Beartooths in the 60s and 70s and made the first direct ascent of Granite Peak's face in 1972 with Warren Bowman. Another Forest Service employee, Doug Chabot, climber, director of the Gallatin National Forest Avalanche Center, and co-founder with Genevieve, his wife, of the ICRA Fund, founded in 2011, which is a nonprofit organization committed to serving girls in remote regions faced with economic, social, and political barriers to education. Bozeman seems to have a habit of philanthropy. And then, this is not specific to any one mountaineer, but there's also a habit of headwall skiing in my backyard, which becomes much more accessible after